Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach, and I'm going to try to get through this the best I can. So you can probably hear it in my voice. I've came down with something over the past few days. It's kind of cold and flu-ish, you know, whatever. It's just all up in here, so you can hear it pretty well, and sometimes it's a little tough to talk. However, I'm on the doing better. It never really got me down, ever. There wasn't one day when I was like not able to function. Night times and mornings seem to be the worst, like when you're going to bed and then when you're waking up and everything's in there and you gotta get it all out kind of stuff. But you know, it's one of those things that I'm really thankful to have Jen for, because as soon as I take her tinctures on a daily to keep immune boosting and keep things regular. But when you get sick, she kind of makes a concoction basically on saying, hey, this is what you need to take to get through it easier. And be able to function and not be able to get down. So I've been taking, you know, every morning I'll drink the elderberry shield tea for two reasons. One, because it has elderberry in it. But secondly, that hot tea helps clear things up, put a little honey in it, you know, get everything cleared up on top of taking the elderberry tincture. So that has really helped a lot. And then at night, she'll give me some of the chamomile tincture to just try to help me sleep, because, you know, you kind of toss it and turn, and it's hard to get comfortable when you got all this going on. And then this one she didn't give me, but it's something I use. I put her beard oil on every morning, and that has really helped keep this moisturized and not get raw and hurting. Y'all know how it is after you've blown a lot. So all that together has made it great. I mean, it's made me just be able to slide right through this, but you know, it's just kind of hard to focus a little bit when you got so much going on in your head. But it's that time of season. Everything's changing. There also is flu, viral stuff going around, so you're almost destined to catch it. But you know, you can take the appropriate steps to make sure it doesn't take you down. And so I'm really thankful that Jen has that focus on herbal remedies and figuring out how we can do this naturally without having to go take NyQuil or Dayquil or any of the over-the-counter stuff that has so many chemicals in it and dyes in it and stuff like that you just don't want in your body. So thank you, Jen. But that, on top of a few things, are the reasons that we've been a little bit quieter here on YouTube. Now, I know a lot of y'all have noticed we're doing like one longer video on Wednesday, and we're trying to do shorts every other day outside of that, besides the weekend, because it just seems like that's a lot of the way things are trending to, and so we're just trying to get in there and do that. Unfortunately, attention spans are very short, so these shorts, minute videos, stuff like that is where people are kind of thinking. But don't worry, long videos aren't going anywhere. We're just kind of testing the waters on different stuff. But we've missed a lot of the shorts. We haven't missed the one video because you're watching it right now. But we missed some of the shorts because of me going down. And then we also had Raylan's birthday this past week, which was a lot of fun. I mean, it was an absolutely great week with a big old black hole in that week, which I'm going to get into here in a minute. But we had to adjust around it because we had something come up on specifically her birthday, and we was like, any other day. It's something we've been dealing with for a long time, and it's, you know, every few months there's something that we have to do. And this one landed right on her birthday, so we decided to head out to go to Dollywood in Gatlinburg, which is very close to our house, for the first part of the week, and then get back home so we could meet our obligation for her birthday and then have her little birthday party on that following weekend. And it was a blast. Family came down. We had a good time. Raylan had a good time. She has turned into quite the little artist. I mean, she's got her whole setup now with her canvases and her, is it called an easel? Is that right? Where you know, it's sitting on there and all that good stuff. I mean, she's a little Bob Ross in the making. So big happy birthday to our little baby girl. She turned 8. And I wish time would slow down, because it is definitely a thief. And I remember carrying her in my arms, and it feels like yesterday. So I know before I know it, they're going to be full-blown teenagers, and I'm going to be like, where did time go? Where can she go back to being 8 and 10? But I'm really happy that we were able to celebrate her the way that she deserved to. Before we get into some of the more serious topics of kind of what's been going on with Stivers Homestead, how about this weather? It's been nice as we've been going into fall. Flannel's back out. Soon the cowboy hat will be back out, and the jeans and boots, which are not really the most comfortable thing in the world. I'm not one of those guys that wear jeans and boots and cowboy hat all year. When it's summer, I like to have as minimal clothing on as possible. It's shorts and cutoffs, as you all see in these videos. I sweat so much, so I ain't even about to do that with jeans on. kudos to all you fellas that can withstand this summer heat and wearing them jeans. But I told Jen, I said it's called rip season. If y'all ever watched Yellowstone, I said it's rip season. It's time for the big boys like me to get all dolled up in jeans and boots and flannels, because that's the only thing that keeps us warm in the winter. But we are getting very close, so we've been doing a lot of prep work, getting wood ready, different stuff like that, to just getting in preparedness for the cold that's coming. I said like all y'all live in Kentucky, I hope wherever you are is starting to get a break from the heat too. We are definitely, the leaves are starting to change here. October is our time when our leaf color peaks, and it's starting to happen. We're starting to see it. It's beautiful here in the Appalachian Mountains. The colors are just vibrant and popping everywhere. So that's our favorite time of year to see on the property, and it's one of the reasons that we really love this place so much. But it is hard to fully fall in love with this exact place. And we've talked about this a few times, but we've had to beat around the bush, and I'm still gonna have to beat around the bush, but I can at least give you enough to understand what's going on. Hopefully we're getting near the end. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it, but hopefully we are. Basically, to just go ahead and lay it out there, we've been in a lawsuit, we've been sued, regarding this place for like the past 3 years now, since we moved here. And it doesn't feel like anything that's, I mean, it's not going to, it doesn't, I don't see how, from our standpoint, that we lose, but you know, anything can happen. But it's one of those things where it's been going on for so long, and because it is around this place itself, it's, we haven't allowed ourselves to fully just be like, yep, this is ours forever. You know what I mean? And the longer it takes to get this thing closed out, because it's having to go through all the steps. And if you've never been in a lawsuit, it's like you do one thing, and then like 4 months later, 5 months later, you got to do the next thing. And it's not something that just we get through. And then of course, you know, lawyers are expensive, and just getting through all that has just not been a whole lot of fun. And it's definitely hindered a lot of our joy being on this place. You know, we've made it our own, we've done everything, and we're scooting right along like everything's fine, but always in the back of our head, you know, it's like you almost start forgetting about it, and bam, here comes the letter, that here's the next thing that we have to do. And you're like, you relive it all over again, because you're having to like recap yourself on what was the last thing we did, what was all the things that were said, what do we need to refresh our memories on, to get ready for the next one. And it's just, that's the unfortunate part that keeps popping up. And you know, it's fresh because it was on Raylan's birthday. Thankfully it got rescheduled. Unthankfully, it just dragged this part of this piece on even longer, because it had to be rescheduled, and usually a reschedule adds a few more months, because it's not like, oh, we'll just do it next week. No, we have to reschedule for another 2 months down the road to get everybody's schedules worked out. And it's just, it's absolutely nuts. And it's been very, very, wearing, I guess would be the right word. And it's just so easy to forget about it. And then it's almost like you have the constable show up again every time you get the email, the next thing to do. Constable's the one that you've been served. Yeah, we had all of that. It's been a whole thing. And so that really sucks. And that has been more impactful to our life than I really thought it would be. It's just a nightmare, and harassment and stress and just all the things. So, you know, I can't get into the details because we're still right in the middle of it, and then don't want to have anything that would be corruptive of the lawsuit. So, but I felt obligated to tell you, because I don't know when this is ever going to end. And I know that you all feel stuff from us. You see things. Y'all are pretty good critics on watching us and saying you look tired or this and that. And a lot of it's usually when that comes about, unfortunately. That's when it's kind of like, why are we even doing any of this kind of thing? So there's that. That's what's been going on ever since we moved to this property. It's just a lawsuit that hopefully will start coming to a conclusion. Because, I mean, obviously we want to win. But generally, like, because we can't do anything, right? Like, say we did want to sell this place. Can't do it. Can't do it until this is done. And that's just, it sucks to be backed into a corner like that. And that's what it feels like right now. So if we look harder or sound more hardened, blackened, whatever you want to say with our skin, harder skin, tougher skin, not as much of that first season. You know, I talk about that a lot. that you can't recreate the first season of something. And in this scenario, I'm talking about when we started YouTube, you know, we can't just go back and become that Zach and Jen that was in the very first season. We are together, but it's hard to sometimes express that because of what we get in return. And so it has hardened our skin. It has reserved us a little. Now you all still see fully who we are. And then maybe that's the unfortunate part. So some of the laughs and stuff like that, or the vulnerable pieces, we have to keep to ourselves because we know what the repercussions are sometimes. And that hurts to not be able to show all that stuff. You know, the latest one was with the cows. You know, we got ran through the coals for that, but we don't care anymore. We let it roll off our skin. It's just one of those things that we have to learn to protect. And I think we're getting pretty good at it. It's not just with commenters. It's not with anything. It's not just the lawsuit. I mean, it's everything. You just start feeling used. And when you start feeling used, you start figuring out what's causing that, and you start blocking that out of your life. And you start making hard decisions, and you start saying, okay, well, I'm just going to keep things that bring joy to my life, that doesn't feel like this thing is just here to suck us, to use us, and not truly care. Because Jen and I, we're both like loyal dogs. I mean, if you have our back and we know it and we see it, like, you can have everything. We would give you everything because we know that you're loyal to us. Now, if that immediately flips and we start feeling like we're being loyal, but we're maybe not getting the honest truth from you, or if you're honestly like not holding your own weight, if you're not at least trying to do something, then we're not going to do it for you. And I mean, if there's like one thing that we've taught on this channel, it's about doing something, not blaming others, not hoping that whoever you elect next is going to change everything, not hoping that everything outside of your home can change to fix you or to do something better for you. The do something that I've been preaching and that we're going to be talking about at HOA and really deep diving into it. I'm really looking forward to that talk. I hope that you all are able to be there. It all starts at home. So we for this example, we know that when my dad died, there's a lot of missing pieces. There's a lot of stuff that was gone when that happened. However, the way that we reacted afterwards was with outside influences and with ourselves, right? Like you would with any kind of situation. Well, we started realizing that a lot of the outside interactions were what's causing us pain. And then so you have to make changes at home to make your life better. So no, nobody outside of your home is going to make your life better. Period. It's not going to happen. There's not going to be a government official that's going to come in and change things for you and make things better for you. There's not going to be doctors that are going to make things better for you. There's not going to be anything outside of your home that's going to make it better for you. And I hope that really sets in. Change starts at home. Like as we were sitting there at the beginning of this video and I was talking about how I'm sick, I'm sure several of you were like, oh, that's the vid. You got the new vid. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't care. I'm basically home anyways. But I'm taking all the home remedies that I would take in a situation that I got sick and treating it. And Jen's treating it for me. I don't care what you put the name on it. I don't care what outside sources call it. It's a viral respiratory thing. What do? These are the steps you take to help treat that. Everything's contagious, right? Not just the vid is contagious. We all need to be very clear with that. Anything that's viral like that and you have germs that you're touching, it's coming out of you, you get it on your hands and you touch things, that is contagious. So no matter what, we're gonna take the proper steps to keep the contagion down and to keep it with us. We don't want anybody to get sick, right? I don't want my kids to catch what I got. But all that's at home. All that's starting at home. And I think one thing that you all need to realize is we did this, right? We all made the change at home and we saw how we defeated the vaccine. We won. Saying no. But that change happened because you at home and your family made a decision together. It was either yes or no. Whatever you decided, I don't care. That was your choice. That's your home. But you made a decision on your own. And then when the masses made their decision, we saw what the outcome was. It wasn't a government official that came back and said, well, we've heard from everybody, so we're not going to require this or that. No, the mandates got lifted from the workplaces on saying that you have to have it because so many people said no. Not because a president came in and said, hey, y'all can't stop doing that. Jobs, private corporations that we have no jurisdiction over. The private corporations said, whoa, we've got 50, 60% of our employees saying no. Can we handle a 50 to 60% loss of employees because we're saying that you have to have this? And they turned around and said no. They started lighting it up. Then they started saying, well, if you don't get vaccinated, then you have to wear a mask in there. All right, that's baby steps in the right direction. We won because at home, we made a change. And we need to keep having that philosophy for everything that comes at us. That is the value and the purpose of doing something. Doing something comes in many forms. It comes from growing your own food. It comes from making a decision as a family together. And then as we do them in the masses, that's when we see change in the world. So when there's something that's bothering you, and you're like, man, I wish X. I wish somebody would come in and do this. Okay, well, what can we do at home to start making that change? Is it that we stop buying something? Is it that we start doing home remedies? What is it? What is it that we can do at home that would at least give you that change that you want somebody else to make? And then let's talk about it. Because there's power in our community. Once you've made your decision at home, then there's power in our community to inform others on a secondary option, which is what Jen and I like to try to do on this channel. We're not telling you to do anything. We just like to offer other options that you may not have thought about, that then at your home, you and your family can make a decision together if that's a route you want to take. To us, that's the power of change. You start by making the decision for your family. And if it's something that you're feeling others need to hear, then you share it as an idea for others to then research and think about and allow them to have all the options in front of them for their family to make the right decision for them. So we talked about like saying no, right? That's one easy way to make change. Saying no, understanding that there's gonna be repercussions from that, but you have to adjust and deal with them by that decision. But if it's for the good and you know it is, stand by that no. The other thing, and we talk about this a lot, and again, this is never against teachers, but homeschooling. You know it's an option. So what is holding you back? Because, I mean, honestly, that is one of the biggest things I see complaints about more than anything. It's about public school and what's being taught or what's being pushed down from the superintendents and yada, yada, yada. Y'all know what I'm getting at. There's an option, and you know it's possible. Because especially when schools were shut down, I mean, I know that people figured this out. It might have been tough, but you made it work. And I know you can now too. There's so many reasons to make these decisions. You just gotta be able to handle the tough times that come with them. But aren't there tough times taking the easy route? And when I say easy route, I mean the Roosevelt route. We have been so brainwashed to say that that is the only way to live. The Roosevelt route, the 9 to 5, the non-thinkers, the doers, the workers. Let's train them early. Let's put them in school. Let's get them out of school. Let's put them in the 9 to 5. Let's keep them working, not keeping them thinking. Y'all, Roosevelt was the #1 cult leader. Like and it's still working today. Like the society we live in and the way that we're trained to grow and be is a cult. And we're so brainwashed that even thinking about something outside of this agenda that has been set for us from birth, boom, social, let's go. Anything outside of that seems nuts. It's like there is no way. we have this mindset that anybody that's outside of that doing something different is privileged or lucky or has help or has enough money, and all of that's just flat out not true. People that have made decisions to try to break out of, I'm gonna call it the cult, are having to deal with a lot of hard stuff. But their values, their core values, make them happier out here than staying on the trunk of the tree. The ones branching out, going out and being on the branch, are getting the good fruit. But when you go out there and get that good fruit, that branch might break. Then you have to climb back up and do it again, and do it again. We like to say that people that are out here are privileged and they have help and it's easy for them to do that because we don't want to make the hard decision. We don't want to figure it out on how to get out there. We want to say that we can't do it and they could because of this or because of that. And I don't have that in my life. But that's flat out not true. It's an excuse for us to stay on the trunk. Stay climbing that Roosevelt trunk of a tree and staying in the pattern that we've all been in since he created it. The school system, the work system, the non-self-taught thinkers. I'm asking you to break that mold. Start thinking for yourself. Start making the decisions for yourself. Because it all starts at home. Change starts at home. So there you go, for a sick video. It's one that I still got passionate about. It's wild. I mean, I know a lot of people, and because when I do this, I'm talking about the masses, but I do see a movement. I do see a movement of people of breaking out of the Roosevelt cult and getting over here on the branch and out there, and it's getting more and more crowded, and I love it. What I'm talking to are the ones that still haven't started seriously thinking about it. You can do it. I have full faith in you. There's gonna be tough times that are gonna come in place with that, but I know that you'll make them through them because the sun's gonna set and the sun's gonna rise every day, and everything is always going to be all right. No matter what. No matter your decision, because you're making the right decision for your family. And just continue to do that, and we will physically see change the way that we should, instead of asking someone else to change it for us. I mean, we have zombies out there right now, right? I mean, they're just, like, I don't even think I mean, all of them are just like zombies out there walking around and stuff. They're not with us. They are, everything they're saying, they don't even know what they're saying. So why are we following these cult leaders that can't even figure out who they are? Let's get out of it and just start adjusting to ourselves and making our changes for ourselves and needing less and less of them. The less we need from them, the more change we have opportunity to make. Because they don't have fear. They feed off fear. When you're out here, there's no fear. Y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. We love y'all, and until the next one, bye.